big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! This is where I think we're going to see the caution. Oh! Here comes Angelo, though. He'll have the run. That car, the newest below the WL Cup Series champion. Here comes Maiato, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins an Auto Club.
Hello and welcome to the Martin Sports 195 and the Below the WL Premier Series live tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway for chase race number 2. It'll be a good one here tonight from this mile-and-a-half racetrack here in Miami, Florida. 130 laps, 195 miles. This is race 14 of the season. My name's Adam Baker. I've got Alec Martinez in the booth here with me. Alec, what are you seeing out there on track here tonight?
I'll tell you what I'm seeing. I am seeing a lot of guys trying different lines here. We know Homestead is notorious for running the wall, but I think today we're going to see a little bit different. These guys probably going to be up on the bottom and try to save their tires, save their stuff. We know that's been the big key to being fast here on these mile-and-a-halves. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Obviously, right off of Atlanta, which is another mile-and-a-half, but not really a mile-and-a-half, a super speedway racing type of racetrack. This week it's more back to the basics, back to normal, but it's an old, worn-out surface. These guys are going to be slip-sliding around after 20, 30 laps. It is going to be a fun one, and I cannot wait to see it. The points are tight with Keith Maiato leading it, going in here by, I believe, 5 over Bailey Turner, and then separated by 15 points over the top 4, which are Turner, Hayes, Cabot, and then a little bit of ways back to Baffert in 5th, I believe. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a heck of a race, and I hope all these fans that are coming in and tuning in. I think they're going to be in for a good one tonight.
Yeah, Keith Maiato got his second win of the season. That bumped him up to the top of the standings over Bailey Turner, also a 2-time winner. The leader coming into last week's race, Seth Hatchell, not the outing that he wanted. He falls to 3rd in the point standings, still well within reach of that points lead. Adam Cabot, Brody Hayes, Ben Baffert all within 30 points, but then it starts to get a little bit farther back for Dylan Parker, AJ Stravato, Dane, Joshua Banks, Angelo Ronas, and Jeff Wright. Those are the 12 drivers fighting for the championship. Looking to go to victory lane here tonight and try and bolster their chances to get that championship. But so far, some drivers out here for qualifying. We see Brody Hayes quickest. We did see Dennis Faircloth maybe could play spoiler. He was fastest in practice. So really good speed for him. Brody Hayes brushes the wall right there. But going to be a fun race, and that championship still so close and 7 races to go. really anybody's opportunity to get up there and take the points lead.
It really is, other than maybe guys, like I said, on back who are going to maybe, obviously, they're going to need to have a really good run, maybe a top 5 run for sure. Only being 20 cars in here, so, there's still some points that can be gained, but not as many as these guys would probably hope if we had. Even a 25 car field would help a ton for the way the points are. But looking at where they are, I mean, sorry, I should say we had 5 guys. Also, I forgot about Seth Hatchell, the 2-time champion. We have 5 guys under a blanket. Ben Bafford's going to need to really put some runs together. Dylan Parker, AJ Stravado, Cruz, Banks, Ronis, who's not here, and Wright. They really got to get some stuff going. But Angelo Ronis and Wright not being here, which probably will mathematically eliminate them from championship contention. So that still puts about 10 guys that can still point. If they put together the right runs, can make a run at this championship.
And just taking a look at AJ Stravado as he crosses the line, he'll go to 5th on the boards. Keith Maiato won this race last season in dramatic fashion over Seth Hatchell. And AJ Stravado, he's got 3 wins here at Homestead in this league. So don't ever count out the 33 machine. Practice.
Other than the one that Hatch or Maiato won, I think Stravado's won 3 of the last 4 races here. So I think, if we're looking at somebody that can be a favorite and who needs a good run, AJ Stravado's definitely that guy.
And you can never count out the 33 of AJ Stravado, the Italian stallion, a past champion and all-time wins leader here below the Double Yellow Premier Series. Maiato, Seth Hatchell right there behind him. But here we see Dylan Parker now on the racetrack, right up against the outside wall. Down the backstretch here, trying to get his lap in.
And I think that's the hope for this race, is seeing these guys hopefully get up that high, get up into the wall as he gets up and into the wall. We know these bodies can take a hit, so that's no harm, no foul. But I think that's one of the things that'll make this race really interesting if that wall comes in. You're gonna be seeing a lot of slide jobs, guys going to the bottom and then going back over the top if it works. But I'm not sure if we're gonna see it work today. I think it's gonna be more that right where Parker's running, right in that middle lane, if not hooking that inside lane on the bottom. So we'll see. I'm hopeful that the top can come in. I think it'd be awesome if it did. But I'm just not sure if we're going to see that today.
Yeah, is this lap completely different line than the first lap? I think he's just trying to build that momentum. And here he goes, cuts down to the bottom, exiting turn number 4. Really low exit. Lap time pretty solid at 33:25. That'll be good for, I think, 10. So not too bad. 17 drivers have qualified. All the playoff drivers that are here tonight have taken half right. I haven't seen him out here, but that will bury him into a hole that I believe much to dig out of, even 7 races.
Yes, unfortunately, he said he was feeling a little under the weather, so hoping Jeff gets back to full health. But yeah, unfortunately, he's going to miss tonight. I feel like he could have definitely been a contender, as he always is. So same with Angelo Ronis. I'm not sure where he's at tonight, but he's not here, so hopefully everything and all is well with Angelo. But man, I'm looking forward to it tonight. I think it's going to be something crazy, and we're into the NASCAR off season. I told you Logano was going to win the championship. I called that. But yeah, no, NASCAR season's over, and it's it's tough, but these boys need a break. Everybody needs a break. And talking to Nick Gardner, he said, "I'm glad it's the off season. He's going out on vacation next week." So, yeah. Well, I gotta ask, since we're in this downtime, what was the overall thoughts on the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series season, man?
It was a lot of new things.
Obviously, yes.
Just a ton of different winners. I think the parity that we saw was kind of unprecedented. Also, there's a lot to work on with the car. Hopefully, they can go to work here in the off season and fix some of the safety issues that creep up, throughout the year. And overall, though, I think just they improved the racing in a lot of ways. Things to work on yet, but it was an exciting season.
Yes, it was, and I really loved the racing that we had all year. Really, I mean, other than short tracks where we kind of struggled, Phoenix kind of struggled. This car, like you said, definitely needs a lot of work. But I think overall, the basis of where we started, where NASCAR started, I should say, they did a phenomenal job getting this car out. I know it was rushed. COVID kind of messed it up as well. I think going to the low downforce, higher horsepower package definitely helped. And heck, the race on the big tracks was phenomenal. I think there was a few duds in the season, but most of the races this year were, I mean, honestly, were awesome to watch. And you know, I think, like I said, once they get the short tracks figured out, and I mean, this car is going to be really, really awesome. And same with the road courses too. I think those kind of struggled a little bit, but I think that's going to be big, and that's going to be good if they can adjust it right. I think we are going to be in for one heck of a season next year in 2023. A lot of new places, new guys going to new places next year. I think the big one's Kyle Busch going to RCR next year. Looking forward to getting out to, I think, well, obviously the LA Coliseum. That's going to be fun, but then getting down to business where everything starts for the Daytona 500.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting with the drivers moving around. A lot of new faces, new names, new numbers, and I'm very excited
Your
to
boy,
see.
he's coming back.
Oh yeah,
Jimmy Johnson's back.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson. We'll see if he gets the 48 or if they give him the 44.
Is he getting 44 or the 48? Is that what they kind of went down to?
I don't know if anybody has made any announcements. I know he said he was trying to get the 48 back from Rick, and yeah, I wonder they may switch that 48 to the 25, which used to be the GMAC machine, which Ally is actually just GMAC, but they rebranded. So could be a return to you know, the old 25 with the insurance and financing group there on the side. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how those things shake out. But just a minute and 45 seconds left before the start of the race. Let's go hear a quick word from a couple of our sponsors while these guys continue to do the drivers meeting. And right back with the starting grid. Right, and back at the racetrack now. We go into our starting grid here as qualifying wraps up. Going off on the pole tonight. Here.
Chris Samard.
Chris Samard, I believe that's his second or third this season. So nice lap there by Chris. Not in the chase, but still fighting for best of the rest. Ryan Gemmel, who had a great finish with Maiato at Atlanta, not here tonight. So one of those competitors outside the chase. Good play spoiler, not going to be. Maiato will roll off from the second position. Starting in the third spot tonight, it'll be Bailey Turner. Starting in fourth, Reggie Ortega, the number 2 machine. AJ Stravato starts from the 5th position here tonight. Nick Gardner going to roll off from 6th. Joshua Banks will start in 7th. Brody Hayes going to roll off from tonight. In 9th, it'll be Matthews Wack. And rounding out the top 10, Dylan Parker.
In 11th, Dane Cruz. 12th, Ben Bafford. 13th, the 2-time champion Seth Hatchell. 14th, the Magic Man Adam Cabot. 15th, fastest in practice Dennis Faircloth. 16th, Eddie Trejo. Eric Lambert, great to have him back on one of these intermediate tracks. He'll be starting in 17th. Yusuf Ghali starting in 18th. Willie Nelson was supposed to be starting in 19th, but he is not here. Jeremiah Vincent will be rolling off in 20th, and Daniel Cunningham will round out the field here tonight. For Homestead, it's going to be fun. It's going to be wild. Adam, before we get going, should we pull somebody in or should we get our picks in?
Yeah, let's see if we can get somebody in here.
All right.
Put a driver who didn't have the run that he wanted last week, but got to witness the crazy finish. How about Joshua Banks?
Joshua Banks. Is he in here? I don't see Joshua Banks.
No Joshua Banks.
No Joshua Banks. Who else should we get? Should we get Keith Maiato, last week's winner?
Yeah, let's pull.
Let's get Keith here. Keith Maiato, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker in the VSPEED booth. Got a copy?
And 4.
Oh, we'll make this quick. You won Atlanta. You're now the point leader. What's the strategy for going here at Homestead?
Keep winning. That's about it.
Keep winning. I like that strategy. Well, we wish you good luck tonight, and go get them.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That was a focused man right there.
Yeah.
That was short and sweet.
Yeah, I don't know
Love
if
it,
he
though.
loves being pulled in right before the race. I know, he's had so many incidents with bad luck this season that I'm sure he blames us a little bit on.
I mean, yeah, we have a curse on him, I tell you. So I gotta ask, who's the pick tonight?
Oh, my pick. I'm going with AJ Servato. Talked about him a lot there.
Servato.
Yeah, he's my pick to win tonight. He's won here 3 times.
He's starting in the back of the field, or mid-pack, I should say. But I love it. I like the speed he's had. AJ Servato's teammate, the Magic Man. I think Adam Cabot finally gets a win later in this season here at Homestead. He's had the speed. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Pace car's about to pull off. We're about to go green, and we're about to be racing here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Pace car pulls into the pit lane. Chris Samard, Keith Maiato going to lead us to the green flag, and there it is. Off and away here from Homestead Miami Speedway for the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series Chase, the championship. Teammates racing into turn 1.
Look at that already. 3 wide. Brody Hayes taking Gardner and Banks 3 wide, using that outside lane side by side for the lead. Bailey Turner's going to make an aggressive move. They're going to go 3 wide down this backstretch. Turner taking to the inside of Samard. Samard falling in the middle of the pack, or in the middle for the lead here now. It looks like Keith Maiato charging on the outside. Turner down, fighting on the inside. Reggie Ortega going 3 wide on the outside here. Who's going to lead lap 1? Is they're side by side off of turn 4. Maiato's going to get the nod at the line.
And that's a bonus point in his hat there as 24 of Bailey Turner. These are 1-2 in the championship.
Cabot started 14th. He's on the wall. Look at that. He's almost in the top 5.
Big charge from Cabot as he works down the back straightaway right to his teammate there. And he is running in 5th now. He'll pull up behind AJ Servato. What he can do here.
Up on the wall, everybody on the bottom, but man, looks like that top really making some time up. And look at the run he gets down the front stretch.
Oh,
as you can see, Fanning out behind.
Yeah, there was 3, almost 4 wide as Nick Gardner down low. Matthew Zwack, Dane Cruz fighting for positions just outside the top 10. You see Dylan Parker now moves to the top side. He's going to try and follow the lead of the 17. And here's AJ Servato also making a move. Now Dylan dives to the bottom.
Big run from Parker, and Parker's going to take that run all the way down, and now he'll go to the inside of Samard, and he'll clear. You see the back end get a little light behind them. Baffert sitting at 3 wide with Cruz and Gardner, and they're still 3 wide off the corner now, as now they'll go back to 2 wide. Gardner backs out of it. Golly right behind him, a Houston native, and it has the Houston Astros. I believe that's the logo all over that Vans Toyota Camry. He's the 3 wide ahead of Gardner.
And Ben Baffert able to slide up in front of Joshua Banks right there, but not able to pass Dane Cruz. Further back, Seth Hatchell running in 15th. Driver to keep an eye on here for sure. Qualified 13th and he gained, actually has lost 2 positions. So,
yeah,
work cut out for him early on in this one.
For sure, struggling for the 2-time champion. I'll tell you who's playing the non-playoff spoiler up here. Reggie Ortega in the 2 Black Rifle Coffee Machine. He's up on the outside, trying to spoil the Sad Boys Racing Party. So you can see using that outside lane. He'll get the tow from the 33, and he'll clear Cabot, go up to 4th. Now Servato now looking underneath Bailey Turner for 2nd.
He will send it down and clear the 24. Can Bailey cross him over? Servato not able to quite park the bus right there, but he does hold him off at the exit of the corner. Now Cabot looks to the side of Reggie Ortega. 4th position, side by side there. Brody Hayes behind them. A winner already this season. A very consistent.
Dylan Parker using that 1. He got up and into it there. He was making some good time, but now gets up into it. And now the battle for 2nd still, or 3rd now Reggie's on as Ortega gets to the outside of Turner. And now he'll look to charge up on the outside of AJ Servato in the middle of 3 and 4. It doesn't seem like the top is working as good as the guys on the top that are using it would like in 3 and 4. It carries big momentum down the straightaway, but doesn't gain up as much time as it does in 1 and 2.
And that time, though, he's able to clear Bailey Turner. Maybe Bailey's gone into save or conserve mode a little bit. But Reggie has brought it down about a lane off the wall. You can see Parker still right up against the barrier. Racing Chris Simard, the pole sitter, who's fallen already back to 9th position. Probably just trying to take it a little easy here. Seeing cars really hard.
Here's see how these guys on the outside lane, how their tires are going to be. They're really pushing it. They're making time. They're making great time, actually. And they're able to hold off, but I'm curious to see if their tires can actually be all right as we get later in this run. We're only 8 laps in. We're not even 10 laps into the run. And I'm curious to see what we can say. Oh, Baffert almost gets up at a Chris Simard there, and he'll stick it up to the inside. And, I mean, I'll tell you, Baffert, he's aggressive. He'll throw it in there. Remember, these two had a little bad blood after the All-Star race, after Baffert got in to the back of Simard and spun him for the lead.
And ultimately, Chris Simard came up 1 position short of the All-Star race win. Very strong, though, at North Wilkes Pro.
Yeah.
For a victory here. This Maiato, though, out in front, holding off AJ Servato for the moment. But two winners at this racetrack in this, I believe, the last 4 or 5 seasons. So they're already showing their speed here early on in this one.
Look at these guys get up on the wall. Bailey Turner throws a block on his teammate Adam Cabot. Cabot down to the inside. He'll look down underneath the 24, and it looks like he'll take the position. Dylan Parker behind them using that middle lane. Ortega up on the outside. Bailey Turner gets right onto the back bumper of Cabot. He's going to push him down this front stretch. Looks like Ortega will keep 3rd, and now Bailey Turner will settle for 4th. Behind them, you can see Brody Hayes diving underneath Dylan Parker and got by Dane Cruz in the middle of the corner. And now Hayes will insert himself into this mix with the 24, the 17, and the 2. He'll clear the 25, but the 25 fights back onto his outside, and that battle rages on for the 6th position.
Goes Ben Baffert now going to send it down to the inside of his teammate Dane Cruz there. We also Matthew Zwack, who's making a return. He raced last week as well, but
he was not there. It was Frisch's teammate, I believe, that right. Ran there last week.
Look at that big checkup from Cruz down into the corner. Not sure if he's put the car a little too hard early on. Following in the footsteps, or the tire tracks rather, of Dylan Parker, who runs the outside lane, and now going to send it down to the inside, take a peek, back up to the top side.
Fake turnaround, and I'll tell you, Brody Hayes starting to make up some great time here in that 10 VSPEED Chevrolet Camaro. He's really starting to get that bottom work in there as Dylan Parker gets a little loose off the corner, and now the door a little bit down this front stretch. Ortega and Cabot ahead of them side by side. And look at the different lines being used here. Got Ortega and Parker on the outside, and then everybody really on the inside here until we get, I don't think anybody's back on the outside except Dennis Faircloth back in 17.
Eddie Trejo farther back there along the wall as well. Jeremiah Vincent already brought it to pit. Not sure what happened to Jeremiah. If he crashed the car, he does have some damage.
Yeah, he's got some damage.
Find out what happened here. Brought it in, and he's on pit road, so not exactly sure. He pulled it in. It's not like he towed it. So Jeremiah, though, going laps down early on in this one, and call it a night here. Battle for Gardner and Joshua Banks. Thanks for taking it away.
Boy.
Gardner back to...
Sorry to cut you off. We are 3 wide going into turn 3. Brody Hayes has sent it under Bailey Turner. He'll pinch him, and now Ortega slides up the racetrack. Parker trying to get underneath him with Zwack also making some room. Baffert just squeezed ahead of Reggie Ortega. Now Baffert sends it down to the inside, takes them 3 wide into 1.
Real gaggle of race cars here. Yeah, and that has Brody Hayes checking up, and he's going to have to slide in behind him. But you can see cars starting to get a little bit unsettled here. It's going to get very interesting. Go ahead and go to Don. Drivers of Maiato and Auto had more clean air this run. Maybe in a little bit better shape, but how everybody... they've started to gap the rest of the field as Cabot has cleared it. Big slide, Dylan Parker.
Oh, is that Dylan Parker up on the outside wall?
Back and take a look here. I saw him really losing it there. And oh, did somebody else get together?
Oh, it looked like he just got loose. Look like Ortega was sliding on that outside.
Get into it here. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, big save out of Yusuf.
Back to
and now Baffert. Yeah, Baffert underneath Turner. They're going to make some contact in the middle of the corner. And behind them, Zwack and Brody Hayes are going at it. But a little more physical racing between the 23 and the 24. Baffert right behind Turner. Turner throws a block. Baffert goes down the inside. He'll send it under Bailey Turner. Behind them, 2 rows of side by side. Baffert will go into 4th. Turner slides back to 5th. And here comes Zwack and Hayes to pounce.
Looks like Bailey Turner maybe starting to struggle. He's already 2 seconds now off the race leader.
Trouble down the backstretch. Go, trouble. There goes Gardner. Banks is spinning around. And the caution comes out for the first time tonight. And it looks like Banks and Gardner will save it, and they're all right. But another one of the playoff contenders in trouble, and that's Joshua Banks in the Mac Tool Chevrolet.
Take a look at what happened here. They were racing pretty hard back there. Was Chris Samard and Reggie Ortega involved in this?
And they're 3 wide.
All right, so take a look here. Joshua Banks down low, just slides up. And
it kind of just closes up there, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, they all bounced off each other.
Ow.
Great save by Nick Gardner. He was heading straight towards the inside wall. And he saved it. Banks not so fortunate, but he at least did a 360 of it. But look at the angle Gardner was going.
Pretty decent contact for Chris Samard into the outside wall, so he may have some damage. He's going to up on board with him. He was in the middle of all this.
Yeah, and also being told that Vincent got loose out the corner and hit, I believe, might have gotten to the inside wall where he got the back end damage. Oh, man. Decent hit there for Samard. They should be fine, but everybody bringing it down into pit road here.
Maiato has led them down, and Bailey Turner pulls in behind him. No issues. Boxes for drivers. Hard, you can see the damage there on the right front. Battle off.
Great pit stop for Adam Cabot and AJ Stravato, but it looks like Maiato's just going to beat him outside the line here. Baffert losing a position there, and Brody Hayes not too great of a pit stop. He lost about 3 positions there.
Showing him in 10th.
Cruz lost a ton as well.
Faircloth moves up to 9th after
wow.
Really nice job on pit lane.
Great pit stop by the 80 bunch.
Maybe Brody had some issues with the box. His time on pit lane. Seconds lower.
Yeah. Didn't have a great stop either. He wasn't the fastest stop on the board. Dennis Faircloth, the 14.2 fastest, as well as Matthew Zwack. 2 fastest pit stops on inside the top 10. Fastest pit stop overall was Nick Gardner at a 14 flat there. But these pit stops, they're going to matter here tonight. And being told Dylan Parker. Should we get Dylan Parker in here?
Yeah, let's pull him in.
See if I can get him. There he is, Dylan Parker. Let me dial him up on the radio. Dylan Parker. Adam Baker, Alec Martinez in the VSPEED booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Dylan, you were running up on the outside, had a great save off of turn 4 when you got loose underneath Reggie Ortega. I got to ask before you go green here, does the top work or is it just coming in?
It is not going to come in. I hate to break the news. I was testing it. It's test sessions, and we was going to try it out. I was hoping it was going to work, and I was giving it everything I had. I didn't care about the tires. I wasn't saving. So now that I know that strategy won't work, it's just going to be, the same snooze fest iRacing's given us the last few months or so.
Well, you guys, I'll tell you this, you guys don't tend to put on snooze fest, even though, iRacing doesn't provide as great as you guys would like, but you guys always put on a show.
Yeah, if there's a late race caution, it's probably going to be fun, but other than that, it's going to be single file on the bottom. As you can see, AJ and Keith just drove away. No topside would fix that until iRacing fixes what they got wrong. So, it sucks, but this is what we got to deal with.
All right, well, again, Dylan, thanks for coming in here. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Alec Martinez.
Thank you. Dylan Parker.
Dylan's a little lucky to have gotten away with the mistake there running the top side, and he was making up ground. So I think it'll work at least for the short run. Long run,
like you said. Like I said, if we get a late race caution, cuts down to 10 laps to go. I mean, you're going to see a lot of guys all over the racetrack.
Yeah, it's going to get crazy. I mean, we've already seen 3 and 4 wide here in the first 20 laps of the race.
Yeah.
So, yeah, imagine the closing moments of it. they're all bunched up on each other, they're going to do whatever
Boy.
it takes. Good looking bunch of race cars out here tonight. Recognize the chase drivers by the red banners, spoilers, speakers. Maiato, AJ, Auto, Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner, the top 4 all chase drivers.
The top 5 are chase drivers. Ben Baffert as well in
Oh,
5th.
yeah.
Zwack, how about Matthew Zwack having a good run here? In that he's been up there. He's been knocking on the door for that win. And if Zwack were to win, we would get double-digit winners in this BTDY Cup Series season. We've had 9. I think we can get 10 by the time this year is over.
Yeah, I think that's very, very possible. Car makes a hard left-hand turn on the pit road into the Geico restart zone, and nice jump for Maiato. AJ Stravato, though, he should be able to secure second position. He will drop down in line in front of Adam Cabot. Top 2 files, they race for 3rd.
Battle lays on for 3rd. The 2 teammates, Cabot and Turner. Cabot gets a little tight on the corner, gets loose off, and they'll stay side by side for that 3rd position down this backstretch. About 2 rows of side by side, and then Ortega single filing out there in the 7th position, but still side by side into 3. Cabot fighting on the inside, Turner on the outside, gets the great drive off. Can Cabot hold it down on the inside?
On board here with Reggie Ortega, you see the 2x2 in front of him. Nowhere for Reggie to go. We'll see what he will do. Jumps to the top side like he did early on in the race, make up some ground. Dennis Faircloth, who's climbing the banking right now, up to 10th position. Nice run for him. We saw him quickest in practice, so don't count out the 80 machine tonight. Be looking for a breakout performance.
Baffert sends it underneath Bailey Turner. Almost makes a little contact with between the 23 and the 24. These guys been racing hard all races. They've been by each other. It's only a matter of time before Baffert makes one more mistake underneath Turner. I think Bailey Turner might get clipped.
Oh yeah, big send into the corner there. They almost got into Adam Cabot, and really tight between the 23 and 24. Nose to tail amongst the top 7 or 8. Seth Hatchell's climbed up to 9th because job moving for him after he was all the way back in 1 point.
And Zwack got up to the outside of Baffert, and he'll look to take that position away for the 6th or the 5th position. Now Ortega going to give Zwack a little bit of an air push down this straightaway. Zwack will insert himself into the top 5 for the first time tonight. And now side by side between Baffert and Ortega. Adam Cabot going up and using that outside lane and trying to get on the wall and get a big run down this backstretch.
And he will get a big run. Look at this. Closes up multiple car lengths down into turn 3. He'll be right there behind AJ Stravato.
What a stint by Brody Hayes for 8th. He'll get right underneath Baffert and almost a little contact. These guys absolutely dive bombing the corners and almost getting into each other.
Yeah, and we're used to seeing Ben Baffert be very aggressive, and he has been aggressive far in this one, up from 12th to 7th. Right now content to ride behind Reggie Ortega, but probably going to be looking to make a move here at some point.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, I'll tell you who's starting to have some pace is that 8 car, Seth Hatchell, was running outside the top 10 the last run, but now he's gotten up inside the top 10 now, and he's up into 9th, 2-time champion. Always finds a way to get himself up at the front. Remember, he almost came very close, came a half a straight away to almost winning this race last year, although it was in the night. Just ran out of fuel, and now you can see he's up inside the top 10.
Now, you can never count Seth out, one of the most consistent guys all season long. Pretty much every season, one of driver right up there in the all-time wins. Tied or close to tied with Maiato for 2nd. But a winner here in this league. You have a champion now challenging for the top spot. AJ Stravato is going to look to the side.
Oh, he sends it deep! Great save by both of them, but Stravato, a hard charge into the corner and almost turns the 36 around.
Wow, that is as close as you can get.
I don't think Strvato's going to like that too much.
These two have gotten into their fair share of run-ins over the last few seasons. And, you know, it's not really just because there's no respect between the two. It's just they're always in the same spot. You know, they're always near each other, racing against each other, and that's how it goes. But I think a lot of respect between drivers. AJ probably knowing he sent it in, he'll back off for the moment and try and rally the troops here and get back up there and shot at it. There's still plenty of time in this.
Big save out of Keith Maiato. I thought Keith Maiato was going around with how hard of a hit Stravado gave to him. That's kind of bumpy with Martinsville, not at Homestead.
Yeah, especially going down into the corner when the car is kind of, you know, the least stable.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's really going at it is Bailey Turner and Matthew Zwack. Zwack's giving him a few bumpers going into the corners and letting him know down the straightaway that he's there. I'll tell you, Cabot getting up on the outside wall and now starting to make a huge charge at AJ Stravado. Look at the run that 17 car gets. Then he'll go to the inside of the 33. Stravado now goes up to the outside. Maiato stays loyal to that bottom. Stravado going to try to generate a big enough run to keep that position. Won't be enough. Cabot goes up to second as Stravado, big run down this frustration. Does he give a shot to his teammate? And he will.
And he will send him down into turn 1 with a full head of steam. Alec, I don't know if you remember last season at this race, AJ Stravado was up there in the mix for the win and ultimately threw a block on Keith Maiato late in the race and spun himself to the inside. I'm sure he's thinking about that a little bit. He wants to gain as many points as he can here tonight because he's far back in the standings already and races in.
He definitely needs to. He's 39 points back from the point shooter, which is Keith Maiato. Maiato leading this race. Definitely not helping his case, but there's such a long race. I'm only about a fifth into this race, and we're up on the lap. We've still got another 100 laps to go. Many things can happen in a late race. Restart where Maiato gets shuffled back is always a possibility. You can see in front of Ben Baffert, Bailey Turner swooping in front of the nose of the 23 and now going underneath the 2 of Ortega. But I'm starting to notice Stravado kind of falling off a little bit. Looks like he's a little bit tight in the center of the corner. Matthew Zwack is up to 4th, and he's starting to pressure the 33. But I'll tell you this about AJ. He is from Florida, and he grew up around the, I don't know if he grew up around the Miami area, but I know a Florida native, and you always want to win at Homestead. You always want to win at Daytona. Those are your tracks. It's always about the home tracks, right? So I think AJ's determined, but I tell you this, somebody's going to have to challenge Keith Maiato. I know Maiato hasn't been in much dirty air today, but leading this race, he looks pretty stout.
Yeah, he's led every single lap so far, and this has kind of been the Keith Maiato story this season. He's led so many laps. Only race win. Strong here. How about Adam Cabot, though, up from 14th to 2nd. Got his sights set on that 36. Matthew Zwack definitely in the picture. Reggie Ortega having a nice run. Well, for Ben Baffert. Hell back here. Kevin, here comes Baffert with a good run out of 2.
Baffert's going to have to side draft him down this backstretch, which he will. And now he'll go down to the inside. Turner will use that outside lane. And it looks like Turner kind of diamonds the corner. He'll pinch him off into the center of the corner and off. So it kind of keeps Baffert out of the gas. And you can see right there, Turner's able to use the outside lane or that middle lane, take what's of the air on the right side, and keeps Baffert from getting into the gas fully like he wants. And he's able to keep the position. But now Turner sends it underneath Ortega, and Baffert will have no problem sending it 3 wide as Turner tries to cut down. And there's almost a little contact, and now Ortega will keep the spot. Brody Hayes gets a big run on Baffert, and he'll go to the outside.
Yeah, Baffert with the late charge in the center of the corner there. He's not going to be too happy about kind of the block that Bailey made to come down the hill there. Look at Brody Hayes up there by the wall to try and get that momentum and challenge, take the spot away from Ben Baffert. He's got a nice run here.
Yeah, big run from Hayes, and if he's clear of Baffert, he can kind of send it underneath. Turner thinks better of it. Later in the race, he might have taken that. But it seems like that top, like Dylan Parker said, is kind of starting to die out here. But I'll tell you, Cabot's trying to use it, and he's kind of falling off.
They are losing ground to Keith Maiato right now. Maiato back right there behind him, running more of the traditional line. Back is all over the back bumper, and now a little opening possibly, a little clean air to the front of the 18. He gets to the outside. No, he's trying everything. Now he's going to cut back down. Going to try and side draft him. AJ's going to let him go.
Great patience out of Matthew Zwack there, and trying to time the run, but Stravado trying to fight back there. But it looks like Zwack could be the playoff spoiler for today. And I'll tell you who's brawling right now. Brody Hayes just gave a massive shove to Bailey Turner, and I thought Turner was going to go up into the outside wall. I'll tell you, Hayes is gaining some grip on that outside lane, and he's starting to use it now. They're side by side between Ortega and Turner. Look at the run Brody's able to generate down this down this front stretch. He'll go a massive shot to the 2 of Ortega, and Ortega will clear Turner, and Hayes now back up to the outside, trying to take him 3 wide. Baffert would have no problem taking him 4 if he felt like it.
Yeah, really tight racing down there on the inside. Bailey
Oh,
Turner.
Brody. Oh, man.
Boy, that looked like they just about pinched the 10 into the wall. But Bailey Turner losing some ground now. Here comes Ben Baffert, going to shoot it up the middle.
3 wide. And look who's right behind them. Seth Hatcher closing into the picture. Turner squeezing Baffert. Baffert squeezing Turner. Hayes will get both of them. He might even get the 3 through a special going into turn 1. Now Hayes goes up into the inside of Ortega, and he'll go into the top 5.
Wow, what a move right there to take all those positions away. Brody Hayes into the top 5. Now he sets his sights on AJ Stravato and the rest of the top 3. Here comes Matthews back challenging for second.
I'll tell you, that 18 is fast, that Reese's Pieces machine. If he comes back next year, he might be a championship threat. He could have been this year. I almost made the chase, but had some issues and missed a few races. But if he shows up to all the races next year, no doubt can the 18 of Matthew Zwack be a threat next year for the BTDY Cup. And he's going to go into second and try to run down Keith Maiato. It's kind of been the story this year. Zwack, Maiato versus Stravato. And even Cabot is Cabot going on the outside lane. That's kind of been the theme this year, as you can see. Cabot now getting a challenge from the 33, his teammate of AJ Stravato behind them. Seth Hatchell gets a position on Ortega. Now Baffert underneath Hayes for the 5th position.
I was just looking through the stats for a moment there. Matthew Zwack, 2 poles. This has had a lot of speed, led some laps, but had some bad luck as well, and missed a few races that nearly made the chase. Regardless of all of that, it's going to be a contender if he comes back in. Now trying to challenge dominant car of the night, who's led every single lap. Maiato out front by about 10 car lengths. Streak down the backstretch, back about 5 or 6 car lengths clear of AJ Stravato. Now starting to hold up the rest of the drivers. Ben Baffert's gotten by Brody. Now he's challenging for.
I'll tell you who's cracked his way into the top 10 as well. Ortega kind of has fallen back, but Yusuf Galling, that 54 car, he has cracked his way into the top 10. And don't forget, he's won 2 races and almost went 3 in a row. If he didn't get wrecked or did have, if he saved a tire set at Charlotte, he would have won 3 in a row this year.
Yeah, he's definitely a driver to watch for here, especially as the long run goes on. He's making up a lot of time right now. 34.88 last time around, making a pass on. Seth Hatchell is going to get around Bailey Turner. He'll move to 7th, so that's continuing the move forward.
Hatchell, he's starting to have some good pace, and I'll tell you who's gotten some good pace other than the top 2. Ben Baffert is past he's past Cabot, past Hayes, past Turner, and he's setting his eyes on the 33 of AJ Stravato. I was talking to Ben early in the week. He wasn't sure how he would fare off here at Homestead, and he said he hoped he'd get a top 5 and felt like he had top 5 speed. And he's showing right now that he has top 3 speed as he's charging down into the charging down that 33, and the battle for 12th was going on there. Nick Gardner got by Joshua Banks. Dane Cruz trying to crack his way into the top 10 as he's underneath the 2 of Reggie Ortega for 10th, as he'll almost slide up the racetrack, almost make a little contact with the 2, and now Cruz fighting down on that inside.
A driver who's not had the start to the chase that I'm sure he was hoping for, that is Joshua Banks. I know he's got a new baby at home, so he's got bigger things to worry about. But one of those guys that was so consistent and strong in the regular season, up there challenging for the regular season. Ultimately never found victory lane, lost a few points last week, not the way he wanted to start. Right now runs 13th out of 19 cars out there running. Also, just looking at the standings here, cars still on the lead lap. Chris Samard is the only car off the lead lap. He had an extended stay in the last caution flag. Main have to get the damage up, and still maybe a little bit off pace.
Yeah.
Back here, he's actually not too bad. He's gotten around Eric Lambert, who position.
Yeah. And the battle for 5th going on, or Brody Hayes and Adam Cabot going at it, and right behind them, Hayes' teammate, Seth Hatchell. He's closing up on these 2, and there was a change for 3rd, which was Baffert passing Stravato, And Baffert's now been the fastest car on the racetrack, and then right behind him, Seth Hatchell has been pretty fast these last few laps as well. Kind of been stuck behind these guys as they're side by side. Hayes will finally get the position. Cabot trying to fight hard on the outside, just not going to be enough now. Here comes Hatchell down to the inside as Cabot almost gets up into the outside wall. And now Cabot getting side drafted by Hatchell as they go into turn 1. The 8-car Hatchell starting to work his way up to the front.
And he's going to get a nice run in the center there. He's probably not going to be able to clear him, but we'll have to see as they drive off of turn 2. I don't think they're fully clear, but Hatchell definitely moving forward and Cabot moving in the wrong direction. Taken down here in turn 3, looks like he will, and here comes Yusuf Ghali flying out there. Very quick car on the racetrack, even in dirty air like this. How about Dane Cruz challenging Bailey Turner for the 9th?
Wow, Turner kind of fell off, and I'll tell you, Cruz has also been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Actually, he was the fastest car on the racetrack that last lap. Him and Yusuf Ghali really starting to make some time. And I'll tell you, although Maiato's got a 1.2 second lead over Zwack, as Zwack is getting ran down by the 23 of Baffert, as now Ghali goes to the outside of Cabot here for the 7th position. Cruz right behind them. And we really haven't talked about Dane Cruz. He wasn't really talked about much in Atlanta, but he was there. But earlier this season, Cruz had some amazing runs. He had a great run at Kansas, notably could have won that race. Heck, even Iowa, he was really fast at Iowa and could have won Iowa. Dane Cruz is one of those underdog stories, made it into the chase. I don't think anybody really expected Cruz to be as fast as he's been, as he's going to try to take it 3 wide on Cabot here and Ghali. He'll get Cabot into 3 as now Ghali clears. But I'll tell you, man, Cruz is somebody that I think can possibly be an underdog if he just finds a little more pace on the long runs at the shorter tracks, or has some more pace and gets some better finishes next year. Definitely somebody that could be a sleeper next year, winning the championship or being a contender.
Yeah, I mean, basically, once he changed the paint scheme to the Cruise Missile one that we're familiar with, he's had some really good performance. And, sometimes those paint schemes, just a little, invigoration there. Yeah, a little more confidence. And look at the run he's got here on Yusuf Ghali.
Dane Cruz having himself a heck of a night already, up to 7th here in this longer run. And he'll get underneath the 54, and he will clear him off of 4 as Hatchell gets by his teammate Brody Hayes for the 7th or the 5th position. Hayes falls back to 6, Cruz up to 7, and Baffert getting by the 18 of Matthew Zwack for 2nd, and he'll set his eyes 1.4 seconds up the road of Keith Maiato. You can see on the onboard starting to gap that 18. The run Baffert needs to close up the points. Probably doesn't need Keith Maiato. I don't think the entire Chase field wants Keith Maiato to win this race.
I didn't realize they were shifting here.
Are they?
Yeah, Baffert's shifting down to 4th.
That was something that was a part of what happened in the Cup race this year. That was something that was happening in the middle of 3 and 4 especially. I don't know if they're doing it in 1 and 2, but interesting to hear that they're shifting as Bailey Turner is bringing it into pit lane here.
Yeah, he is really falling off pace here, and he'll pull it in from, I think, about 10th position. He'll be the first one to blink here and bring it on to pit road. 33 laps in. The pace has fallen off dramatically, about 2 seconds run. Wow. So we'll see leaders and other drivers, I'm sure, start to pull it down here. I know the top 5 going to bring it in this time. Look at Dane Cruz. He is closed right up on Brody Hayes. Still the fastest car. He was almost 4 tenths quicker the previous lap. This time he was just 4 tenths quicker than your race leader. Ben Baffert even a couple tenths. Maiato. So maybe starting to lose the pace here at the very tail end of the run. Ben Baffert and Dane.
And Cruz up to 6th. Yeah, those PPM guys starting to find some speed. Dylan Parker had kind of fallen back, and he's up to 11th here. So yeah, these PPM boys might have brought some long run speed.
Just having a nice solid run here as well. Nick Gardner, he had a great run, I believe, last night in the contenders.
Not second, I believe.
Yeah, and Eric Lambert also had a nice top 5 run in that race.
Lambert's in top 15. Gardner running down Cabot. How about a shout out to Daniel Cunningham as well? Cunningham battling Ortega.
A good run for him. We've seen Daniel out here a few races, not full time, but out here, and he is a strong run. Could be a top 10 finisher here tonight.
He definitely could be.
road yet. Faircloth brought it in laps ago.
I'm
So-
really curious to see the speed that Faircloth and Turner will have. I mean, look at that. Turner's going to be right up on these boards. Actually, he's just going to blow by them. A lot of pace in those tires. We know Homestead's one of those tracks that just absolutely eats up tires. And you can see they just blow by the guys on older tires.
Dennis Faircloth is actually in front of Bailey Turner because he pit 5 laps sooner than him. That's how much short pitting makes a difference. But yeah, look at this.
Oh, a tight squeeze. Hayes is going to get put in a weird
Oh,
position.
man.
Oh, man. Almost a little contact, and just ahead of the road, Cruz is looking on Stravato for 5th, and Cruz takes 5th away from his from Stravato, and here comes the guys with tires right behind them.
This is going to be a little bit sketchy here. Oh, Faircloth in the wall.
Cruz is loose, so is Stravato, and now they're going to be side by side for 5th. They're going to blow the doors off of Seth Hatchell as Cabot now is running into pit road.
Cabot, one of the first leaders to pull it in, other than Bailey Turner. I think Bailey's going to have the race pretty good
he
distance.
might.
Than
Turner is going to have. Turner is 2 seconds faster than Keith Maiato.
They are definitely going to be way out in front. The question is, how long do these guys stay out and get an extra pit stop out of it by staying out here a little longer?
I mean, they're only. I mean, how many laps into this run? They're 38 laps into this run. They might try to go another 20.
Yeah, if they can. I mean, then Bailey and those guys are.
I don't know, Bailey. The tires, the pace out of the tires, honestly, might be better than just staying out. I mean, Bailey is digging right now. He's still 2 seconds faster than our leader.
About to go by Ben Baffert, who also closed up significantly.
Running down Maiato, yeah.
Yeah, he's up a whole second on
2
Keith.
tenths.
Was Bailey going to unlap himself right down there in the bottom side? I'm sure Keith probably didn't even see him coming. That's how fast these guys are on the fresh tires.
Here comes Cabot blowing by Gardner and Golly. Gardner up in the 8th. Golly starting to trickle his way back into the field, into the clutches of the middle of the pack. Here comes Faircloth unlapping himself from Baffert, and then sets his eyes on the leader, Maiato. Dane Cruz has gotten by AJ Stravato, has pulled away, and now he's setting his eyes for the 4th position on Seth Hatchell.
Just a tremendous performance from the 26 team so far in this. Closing in on halfway, up from 11th to top 5 at the moment. Cycle kind of underway here. What the leaders elect to do. Perhaps wind up. Continue on.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the fastest car on the racetrack right now is a PPM car. It's Dylan Parker. He's up in the 10th. He's about a 10th faster than our leader, Keith Maiato. Maiato and Baffert are pretty much swapping lap times back and forth, about the same. Baffert about a 10th faster than Maiato, and he is closed up to Keith Maiato. He's about only a half second off, about 3/10 of a second. It's going to be close here.
Seth Hatchell also faster than the race leader. He was about the same speed as
As
right
Baffert,
there.
yeah. And Cruz is right there with them.
Yeah, those three running about a 10th quicker than Keith. About 2 car lengths, I think, between the top 2 at the moment. So Ben Baffert, who we saw at Iowa, able to be really, really, really good on the long run after the super save. He hasn't saved tonight. He's just very good.
He kind of reminds me what he did at Charlotte. Yeah, I don't know if you remember at Charlotte, Golly was fast. He was the fastest car, but Baffert would run him down on the long runs, and it wasn't like he was super saving. Baffert just knows how to kick the tires under him, and I think that's going to be big in this series if he can keep it going. I know he's got about a 29 point gap on Maiato. If he can win this race, it would really help. He'd get a ton on his competitors for sure. And we're going to tracks that he's really good at. We were going to Martinsville. He won at Martinsville last year. So Baffert, definitely not down, but he's definitely been kicked down once. But if he can win this race, he's not going to be out of it for sure. He's definitely going to insert himself into the championship fight.
And there will be 6 more races to go after
a long
tonight.
way to go. And his road course pace is really good as well. He could have won Watkins Glen and came up really short.
Ooh.
And Zwak's going to miss his box, and that's going to hold him up a little bit. Heck, we're only 40 laps into this run here, as Maiato and Baffert are pitting right now. 43 laps into this run. Oh, Maiato's got to be careful. Baffert's going to sit into his inside. No, he'll stay behind him.
I was worried that he might get into the back of Keith and have another one of those.
Pit crews. And Hatchell's going to get a lap led there.
That'll be important for him. Dane Cruz staying out. AJ Stravato, Brody Hayes, Parker, others also out. That was brought it in. We could see Black brought in, and he's just working off the pit lane right now. But how about Bailey Turner? The gap back to Adam Cabot. It's about 5 point.
Wow.
Well, actually, I think it's about 5.5 seconds between
Wow,
those two
heck of a
drivers.
stop by Ben Baffert, and Baffert is going to be even with Maiato out of the pits, and he'll overtake him.
Gotta be
Baffert
careful.
jumps Maiato out of the pits, and now they'll have to run down Bailey Turner and Adam Cabot. But Baffert now will, I guess, be ahead of the guys that have pitted already. We got trouble. AJ Stravato, or was that Joshua Banks? That save, no, that was AJ Stravato. Big save out of him. These tires really starting to wear 45 laps on him. And I'm assuming they're going to be bringing him in pretty soon here. Looks like, I believe Cruz was thinking about coming in. He's not. Stravato's not bringing it in either. Parker really starting to make up some big pace. He's about a half second faster than Seth Hatchell right now.
Brody Hayes working his way off of pit road. He's been passed up by everybody else who's already made a stop. Daniel Cunningham also pit a few laps ago. So Brody Hayes at the exit of the pit lane. Looks like Eric Lambert, he's going to bring it on the pit now. And top 8 have yet to pull it in. Eddie Trejo as well. But Bailey Turner is on.
He's been really good on pit calls this year. I'll give him that. He's been really good on pit calls this year. This could be another one of those situations. He's going to be falling off a ton on tires, and I tell you, Adam Cabot's a little bit faster than them. They're still not too horribly off the pace as Eddie Trejo gets up into the outside wall. As now you can see AJ Stravato bringing in. Hatchell and Cruz are still out on the racetrack. Gardner sliding around, still on the racetrack. Golly is still on the racetrack. I believe Dylan Parker just brought it in as well. A lot of guys staying out. I think I'm going to try to get it to 50 laps here as Cruz is now bringing it into pit road, and he'll forfeit the second place position.
Got to be careful getting on the pit road. We did see a lot of tire smoke from AJ Stravato. We'll see what kind of penalty car, so everybody knows. Joshua Banks still on the racetrack as well. He runs in fourth, trying to get by Reggie Ortega third, but the top 4 drivers yet to pit. Well, as Gardner Omen. Really tight right there between the 35 and the 2.
And the 2 still, these guys are on 40 lap old tires. Chris Samard, I believe, is on fresh tires as well. Oh no, he's on 47 lap old tires. So yeah, these guys are about on the same amount of tires here.
Yeah.
Samard is a lap down. I think he's kind of hoping for a he doesn't want to caution now because he is trapped a lap down here.
Yeah, it wouldn't help him at all at the moment.
Yeah, no.
Guys here that we're watching, Reggie Ortega and Joshua Banks, they're 8 seconds behind the leader. Bailey Turner's only 5 seconds behind them. He's already made his pits.
Yeah, Bailey's going to lap them, but he's going to be severely off pace compared to what they were going to be. And I'll tell you right now, Maiato and Baffert are very close to each other here in the 7th position. They were the original leaders coming in. Turner short pitted them, and so did Cabot. But I'll tell you, Maiato's really trying to get around Ben Baffert. Now he's going to look underneath him. These two haven't really raced each other all day, and Maiato knew that Baffert was running him down. But he hasn't been in dirty air, and that was the first time he's in dirty air. I'm curious to see if Maiato was able to keep the tires under him for that 5 or 6 laps run as Baffert lets him by.
Yeah, and this is kind of what Ben did at the start of the run. You know, just kind of didn't push it too hard. Now Keith has had to push it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Keith. He's still 5 seconds behind Adam Cabot, and he's 8 seconds behind Bailey Turner. They might not even see each other until barely before Bailey probably brings it back in.
I mean, at the moment, they're about 7 to 9 tenths lap faster, so they'll get there. You know, it'll be 10 or 15 laps, I think.
Yeah.
End up catching up to them. But Seth Hatchell, Yusuf Ghali, Reggie Ortega, Joshua Banks, all still on the racetrack.
And they're running it till it's dry here on the fuel tank here.
Yeah,
Not sure how much longer that will be. I'm going to assume probably another 5 or 6 laps at most. Might want to bring it in here 55 laps as Banks is now bringing it in. Hatchell playing a big strategy here. I'm interested to see how this works. He's going to have about 8 to 10 lap fresher tires than his teammate Keith Maiato's. Man, look at the side-by-side Banks with a send on Ortega, and he'll make it work.
I hope that he doesn't get a speeding penalty there, but they're on the same strategy as the top 2. Hatchell out in front by over 7 seconds. Yusuf Ghali, and then it's another 3 back to who's running about a second a lap faster. Seth, if you go about 4 or 5 more laps, I think you can stretch it to the end without having to
can.
hit. And even if a caution came out or something right here, I think almost all the other drivers would probably.
Oh, these guys
bring
are bringing it in.
Yeah.
It would trap a lot of guys a lap down if Hatchell were to. But, I mean, looking at it right now, I mean, Seth's trying to pull what he did last year. I don't know if you remember last year.
Yeah.
He came sputtering to the line. So he might be trying to make it to the end here. Go 50 laps here. We've got 50 laps to go here.
Gali on the pit road. He'll hit from the second, and we'll see where he ends up. He is going to be probably a lap down once the cycle out.
Yeah. I mean, looking at how far Hatchell's gone, Hatchell will be able to go all the way to the end.
I mean, he's gone 54
It'll be tight,
laps.
yeah.
Right now it's 59 to go. So about
he's
3
got
more
another
laps.
few more.
Yeah, and he can definitely stretch it. But the thing is, lost so much time here. Tough to say how this is going to shake out. He'll be faster for a while once he comes back out.
Will be,
you know,
sure.
how is this going to all balance out? Could be, you know, almost a drag race to the line like we saw. And here he is.
Yeah.
He can't make it any
He's
farther.
bringing it in. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work for him. He'll have a lot more pace than everybody throughout the entire run. I don't know if he's going to be able to make up the time he's going to lose. Is now Bailey Turner will get a bonus point, and he'll cycle up to the lead here. Adam Cabot will go to the lead here, but look at the lap cars going around Cabot, splitting him. Really, and now Ortega going to split him 3 wide. Almost gets into Cabot, and that's going to really hold Cabot up. Look at all these lap cars.
Eric Lambert there. I think those guys are on fresher tires.
They are. They're on way fresher tires. They have about 10 lap fresher tires, and they're all running Bailey Turner down. And Bailey Turner has 20 lap older tires than these guys.
Yeah,
This
22
is going to fall
laps.
perfect for Maiato and Baffert.
Eric Both with 27 on his tires. And I wonder if Dennis's strategy. Oh, he's in the wall. Oh, he's
Oh, he's
back
still
in the wall.
Just get out of the wall there. He's
Yeah.
good now. And now Bailey Turner's going to get split through. Oh, there's contact. Eric Lambert is into Joshua Banks.
They all save it.
They save it.
Wow.
Is Banks going to bring it back up the racetrack? Yes, they're going to save it. Man, a big scare right near Bailey Turner.
I can take a look here. It was right behind the race leader. Ortega to the outside. Looks like Lambert drifts up.
Banks
And-
bounces off of Ortega and down into Banks. Man, Banks has not had the best race today.
Unfortunate there for him. Race
Abbott.
car 1 lap down.
Cabot is running down Bailey Turner, his teammate in that White Claw 24 machine. Running down, these lap cars are going to go right by Adam Cabot. And now they're going to go right. This sounds like Turner's going to use the inside now. Banks is going to go around his outside. The battle for the lead will probably get hot, but it won't last too long as Adam Cabot on 4 lap fresher tires than his teammate. And Adam Cabot will try to get a bonus point as he'll go to the inside of Bailey Turner for the lead in that Atlas 17 black and red Chevy Camaro. Eric Lambert right behind them, the first car lap down. Trying to get his lap back here. He's going to be spacious of these guys. He knows they're in the chase. He is a Contender Series driver in Xfinity Series cars. So he's going to be respectful, and he's going to go down to the inside now and make his move to get back on the lead lap.
Who has tracked them down from much farther back. Maiato and Baffert, they're only 1.2 seconds behind Adam Cabot. Lap times last time by 7/10 quicker. They'll be passing them in just about 2 laps. So that is how much quicker they are at this point in the run. Let's take a look at half a second. That time still quite a bit. Turner about a second slower. So it looks like Maiato and Baffert on the right strategy at the moment. I do wonder about Dennis Faircloth. He hit very early. I wonder if he final
Really
stop
falling
here.
back.
That's the thing, though. If he makes the final stop, he will be faster. But yeah, almost.
I'm curious to see where Cabot and Turner can take this. If Turner can go another 6, or if he can go another 10, 15 laps, if he doesn't fall too far back from the top 2, he might have a chance at this. As Maiato, again, will probably cycle the lead. He'll have Baffert a lot closer this time.
Keith is right there in the tire tracks. 1 car length now down the backstretch. Probably going to make the move here in 3 and 4. We'll see which lane he picks. Cabot goes low. Maiato goes high. Go wherever he isn't, and he's going to make it work.
He's going to get a big run down this front stretch, and he'll be able to easily clear Adam Cabot. Maiato back up to the point in that 36 VSPEED Chevrolet Camaro. Baffert following him right behind Adam Cabot. He'll take over second. And the top two that were coming into the pits will now reassume the top two positions overall. Maiato now, instead of a second, he had a 2.5, or yeah, but I think he had a 2-second lead over Baffert. It's now down to 2/10 after this entire pit cycle. We're coming up on 50 laps to go here in the race, the second race of the chase here at the Homestead Miami Speedway in the Martin Sports 195.
Gonna look at Seth Hatchell running 13th at right where he started. He's led 11 laps. Yeah, he is really fast right now, about a half-second a lap quicker, and that will. I think that difference is going to increase. The leaders are getting to the cliff, really where they start to fall off, and that is running this pace for a while. He's gotten by. He's got really nobody around him, other than.
Yeah, no, and he's running down Faircloth, who's hanging on here ahead of him. Faircloth's right up on the outside. Well, he, like I said, he's hanging on right now.
34 laps on the tires for the number 80.
Car, though.
Yeah, nice
really
new
car. Veterans game.
Yeah, Geico military paint. Really good out there, and he's had some good speed and put on a show for us as he's right up there by the in the wall again. And he's stuck to it for a little while. Oh, he's still in the wall.
Oh, but, man, gotta save it.
It's tough to see the scrapes on the camo. So
it is, yeah. Composite bodies, though. It's all good.
Maiato has been able to pull away by a couple more car legs.
Really falling off.
Yeah, he's on back to 17. Had an issue getting on or off the pit road.
Even then, I mean, he has way fresher tires than Keith Maiato. I don't know if he hasn't fired off right, but he's really fallen back 17th behind Eric Lambert. He just really looks off the pace. I don't know if he's got any damage to that 54 car. But definitely not the speed that Yusuf Ghali is. I'm used to seeing Yusuf Ghali be a little bit faster and running outside the top 10, but right now running in the 17th position.
And Keith Maiato, I think he just secured most laps led. He's got 65 led.
He probably has, yeah.
And there's other people.
And another bonus point.
Yeah, extra bonus point for most
boy,
laps led.
Yeah.
Got a few of those in his pocket.
Yeah, if I'm looking at it, they're going to have to make one more pit stop. When they're going to make it is going to be the real question. It should be soon, I would assume.
2 lap cars right here, parking the bus in front of him, and he's got older tires than both of those guys. So
he's getting no clean air. He's getting 0 clean air.
Very interesting, because Ben Baffert's in the same situation. It's not like he's got an advantage, other than maybe he's a bit more, but I don't know. It's going to be tough for these guys to work their way past this lap car.
What do we got? 45 laps to go. When do these guys want to pit is the next question. I think we could see pit stops, within the next 20 laps for sure. And I think the first one, obviously, bringing it down to pit lane would be... Oh, man, Maiato really loose.
It opened the door for Ben
Like
Baffert.
that. And Maiato's going to go defensive. And look at the dive from Ben Baffert. He's going to have to back off. It's a shallow entry. Look at them both slide up the racetrack. And Baffert's going to stick it on the inside. Can he hold it? They're going to be side by side for the lead.
Maiato did not want to give the lead up. I know.
I've been worried about those right rear tires. He definitely slipped them, and the tire's going to be hot for a while.
I think both of them.
Put some pressure for sure.
Got a good run here out of turn 4. Going to make another move.
Trying to block it again. No, he's not. Baffert's going to get down to his inside. Maiato's going to charge into the corner as well. Maiato slips up the racetrack. Baffert sticks down to his inside. He's not to his inside fully yet. Can he get the run off the corner and keep it on Maiato? Maiato wiggles the back end off the corner. He'll keep the lead, though, but those lap cars definitely playing a factor, giving dirty air to the leader.
I wonder if this is going to help out Matthews Whack at all. He's running about the same lap times 2 seconds back.
Doesn't have older tires, though.
That's true, just a lap older. Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner starting to fade significantly. Back respectively. AJ Maiato as well. He's at the fastest car, up here in the top 6. So don't count AJ. A lot of time to make up. He's almost 7 seconds back.
Baffert got a big, good run off of turn 2 here. He's going to try to fake it down on the inside. thinks about it, shows the nose to Maiato. Maiato charges into the corner. Might have overdrove it there, but he'll park it down there into the center of 3 and 4. He'll keep the lead, but seeing that both of their back ends starting to slide around here as we're getting 25 laps into this run, this tire's starting to fall off. Baffert with another charge to the inside. Pokes the nose down, almost gets into the 36, and now they're side by side in 1 and 2.
Gonna get back to the throttle. Here comes Maiato, though, charging on the outside. Little slide right there. Side by side for the race lead on the backstretch at Homestead Miami. Lap 88 out of 130. Still plenty of time in this race.
Lap car's gonna be messing with both of them, really kind of taking both their lines away as Maiato slides at the racetrack. Here comes Baffert again. Baffert, can he lead the lap? No, he'll side at the 36, and they'll go back into the corner. Maiato drives it up on his outside, kind of misses his apex, and now Baffert's going to fight down on the inside. They're going to try to side draft each other down this backstretch. Maiato slips the tire a little bit, and now they're door to door, even with each other. They'll make a little contact down the backstretch as they go into 3.
And Baffert got a little slide out of the corner as well. He would have maybe gotten a better run in these. Oh, contact!
More contact being made between the top 2. Maiato on the outside, Baffert right on the inside, even almost at the line.
What do they do down into the corner here? Baffert, obviously patience wearing out on his side a little bit, being very aggressive with the send into the corner there. Maiato able to hold him off for the moment.
Maiato is killing his tires on the outside. There's more contact down the backstretch. Baffert now on the inside, fighting once again. Maiato, can he clear him? Baffert's going to slide at the racetrack, makes Maiato slide at the racetrack. Still side by side off of turn 4. Can Maiato carry the momentum off the corner? No, Baffert charges back again on the inside, doesn't side draft him, and they'll still stay side by side in the 3. Been about side by side for the last 5 laps. What is it doing to their tires is the question. They've lost a lot of time to guys on fresher tires. They almost make more contact down this backstretch, and Maiato will keep the lead. He'll clear Baffert.
Yeah, I think it was only a matter of time before.
And Turner's brought it into pit lane.
This will probably be his final stop.
It's looking like it will be. 40 laps. Baffert back on the inside of Maiato. Maiato gets loose out the corner. Baffert might have led the lap. Yes, he did. And now they're still side by side. Maiato gonna pinch him down to the inside. Has to get out of the throttle. Baffert now right into it, right next to him. Will he be able to keep side by side with him? He'll have to side draft him down this backstretch.
Oh, I'm holding my breath this whole time. These two have gotten into it, I don't know, a half dozen times since the beginning of last season. So I'm just waiting for that moment where something happens. But
Maiato got into each other once.
Yeah.
Maiato's slipping that back end. It's going to be too much as we get later into this run.
I think they're both sliding, though. I've seen Ben really, like, especially out of turn 2, trying to keep it pinched down like that. He has been slipping the rear end quite a lot. Really tight there in the center of 1 and 2. Maiato up the hill.
Maiato
big
loose,
slide.
Big time. Big time looseness out of the 36. Baffert still side by side. The real question is, what is this doing to their tires? They're absolutely killing their tires. Baffert slides up the racetrack, and now Maiato should be able to clear him out the corner. The fishtail's back on the outside. Almost a little more contact. Baffert side drafting. Can he pull next to Maiato? He still will stay side by side. He'll charge into the corner. He'll get loose on entry. Maiato pinching him down.
I think that's all Keith can do. I think his tires are just a little more worn out than the 23. And he's really pushing him down. These 2 lap cars out in front, creating probably one of the best battles we've seen all season. Just lap after lap, these 2 going at it almost dead even here at Homestead. This is incredible stuff.
Yeah, they are doing a well of a job holding this together. As Maiato slips at the racetrack once again, Baffert pulls about even with them. Beautiful shot down the front stretch as Maiato almost gets into the wall on the straightaway. Still side by side as they go into one. Maiato pinching him, but not as much this time. Golly taking the air away from the 23 on the inside. Still going to be side by side at the corner. Maiato slips the back end. So does Baffert. Still side by side down this backstretch. What an amazing battle we're seeing at Homestead Miami Speedway, and they're still side by side in the 3rd. It's been like this for about the last 10 laps.
Yeah, this is absolutely wild. I don't know if I've seen a battle go on this long with really nobody making any progress. Keith with a nice run there out of 4 might be able to clear him. And Baffert almost looked like he was going to get in line, but no, he's going to go for it again into turn 1. And looks like AJ Servato and Matthew Zwack have brought it in from inside the top 5.
What does that do to, what is it gonna force the hand of the top 2? Maiato slips up and up. Baffert clears him for the lead.
That was a big slide for Keith. It might be time for him to bring it to pit road, but I think whoever pits first here loses this race.
Lap cars are gonna be in the way. These guys
he is gonna pit. Gotta be perfect on pit entry.
He should have been more aggressive. He should have been more aggressive on the entry. I know you don't want to push it, but if he's going to have to beat Baffert, he should have been a little more aggressive. He still might lose out if Baffert gains enough time on pit entry.
An eye on Ben here. I mean, Ben may stay out a handful more laps, get that tire advantage, and then just be able to pass him no problem. I don't know.
Well, don't forget, we're going to have Bailey Turner cycle to the lead here.
That's true.
And Bailey's only going to have 5-lap fresher tires. We'll see here. Baffert's going to bring it in this time. Baffert gets loose. A little more aggressive entry. He'll make it easy up enough on speed. We'll see what happens with the battle of pit road. Maiato is out of pit road. He's on the pit access road. Baffert going slowly at a nice and slow and agonizing 40, or I believe it's 50 miles an hour on the pit road. Maiato is now back onto the racetrack. Baffert is bringing it into his stall. The right side are up, and now the jack will fall down, and they'll go to the left side.
Brody Hayes pulls it into his box. Nice job getting in there. It leaves Seth Hatchell, Dane Cruz, Reggie Ortega, Joshua Banks at top 4. Here goes Baffert, now working off the pit lane.
Coming down
Maiato
the
across the start-finish line. The one lap's going to make that much of a difference.
We'll see. They're going to go into turn 1. They're going to be even here. Off of turn 2, Baffert on the access road. Maiato should be able to get the lead here, but he's got Matthew Zwack to deal with.
Yeah, Zwack has 2-lap old tires. I mean, it's not like he's been out here forever, so these two pretty much even.
He's trying to fight the 36. We have a few new players into this mix here. Oh, Lepper! Golly getting into the way there.
Eric Lambert pulls it in. There is a pretty good gap, though, between Maiato and Baffert. It's
the 1 lap going to be the difference, though, I think is the real question.
Maiato is about 0.8 in front, and here we go. Maiato all over the back of Matthew Zwack. How quickly can he dispose the 18 here? Zwack going to be able to hold him up.
It's a big factor in this race. If Zwack holds up Maiato too much, Baffert will be right back into this with 1 lap of a fresher tire, 1 lap fresher tire.
And Bailey Turner 5-lap older tires.
He's
only
not
a
that far
second
ahead.
in front of Matthew Zwack.
Yeah, he's not that far ahead.
Seth Hatchell still on the racetrack. Reggie Ortega, Joshua Banks, the top 3 yet to pit. But this is definitely slowing down Keith Maiato here. He is all over him.
Can Zwack hold him off enough that even if Baffert gets there, Baffert's going to have to pass 2 cars. He's going to have to fight hard. They're running up on Bailey Turner. Turner is not going to give it to them easy.
100 laps down and 30 to go. Seth Hatchell, your race leader for the moment. Let's see if he can stretch it. It's going to be too much, I think, for the 8 machine. So is he already coasting?
I just don't think at the pace he's running, the leaders are 2 seconds a lap faster. I just don't think he'll be able to hold on. He might improve his finishing position, but it's not going to be by much. It's going to be by maybe 1 or 2 positions. As here we go, Zwack to the outside of Bailey Turner. Turner won't be able to put up a fight. Zwack up to the outside. Maiato now I think has kind of realized he's going to have to fight the 18 here, and I think Baffert's going to have to realize that too. The 18 is a player in this. Can Matthew Zwack hold off the 2 chasers?
As Zwack executed perfectly on pit road, it took him 38 seconds
Turner's
to get down.
Turner's going to fight the 36 harder. The 24 might fight the 36 a little bit harder.
He's not going to be able to. Maiato goes right around him. Bailey Turner now, he's just, he's that right here. This is where, not going to be able to deal with these guys. He's got older tires. No way he's going to be able to keep up. 5-lap difference on tires is bottom half of the top 10.
Maiato thought about making a lunge, and he does. And now will he get to the inside of Zwack? Zwack doing a masterful job of fighting Maiato off. He made up, get this, he made up 4 seconds on the top 2 by pitting, and he's holding him off.
Yeah, incredible job. Just 1 lap extra on tires, too. It's not like a massive difference. It will make a difference later in the run. Hatchell still
Will
out
they
in
equal out
front.
is the question.
That's the thing. It may fall off to a point. Turner already losing 4 positions, back to 7th now. Still the top 3 have yet to bring it in. Matthew Zwack and Keith Maiato, they're going to have to deal with Joshua Banks a couple laps.
Maiato's going to be there up the corner. They're going to be side by side down this backstretch. It's going to be a huge factor if Maiato can get by Zwack here. That'll mean he'll have a car between Ben Baffert, but look at Zwack. He's going to fight him hard here. And they're going to make a little bit of contact. Zwack is trying to fight for his first win. They're still side by side. And as you can see behind them, that white hood with the front purple bumper is catching them quick. He's got a lap fresher tires. Ben Baffert is on the charge, and he is running them down. They're too wide. They're running up on Banks. Banks gets out of their way, and they're still side by side. Oh, he gets loose in front of Baffert. Baffert doesn't lift.
He didn't lift at all. He saw that he was going to miss him. Joshua Banks lucky to not.
There's some more contact between Zwack and Maiato. Zwack is trying to fight for this lead. This will be the lead eventually. Zwack side-drafting down this front stretch. They're still side by side.
I think Zwack needs to know, though, that here comes Ben Baffert. He's got fresher tires than both of these guys.
Oh, and Maiato's going to slide up. This is killing Maiato's time. Baffert is right behind him. This is a 3-car fight for the win.
Every lap that Maiato has to fight is another lap harder on the tires. That
came down to that bottom, and now they're running it up on Reggie. Reggie's right there, but Maiato's going to slide up. They're going to make contact again. Here comes Ben Baffert in the 23. He'll take him 3. There's a lap car on the outside.
Oh, contact!
Trouble! Maiato slides. He tries to get Baffert, but Maiato will save it. What a save! Zwack now holds on to the lead.
Oh, my goodness. Keith Maiato, what a save, but that could be his shot at the win. Tire's going to be super heated here. I don't think there's anything he could have done.
Cut down there. He was trying to avoid Ortega. Maiato tried to follow him, and Baffert was there. There was no way they were going to go 4 wide, and now Baffert is underneath Zwack for what could be the race win. And Zwack's going to fight him hard here. Zwack is not going to be out of this without a fight here. He is fighting Baffert hard.
Yeah, these two no strangers to each other. Matthew Zwack has been very quick here tonight. Maiato still not too far back from all of this. He's about 8/10 back. Tires, though, I think might have...
All right, this is for a playoff. This is for some extra bonus points and a possible to keep him in the championship. Baffert passes Zwack, and now Baffert is the car ahead with fresher tires and the race lead. Well, could be the race lead. He's a second behind Seth Hatchell. Hatchell with 25-lap older tires ahead up the road. Maiato really starting to fall off. Those tires might be killed from almost pretty much half spinning. A great save by Keith Maiato, but it might just not be enough to get the race win tonight.
And it was going to come down to Baffert or Maiato, I think, no matter what. But here we go. Baffert closing in on Seth Hatchell. He's probably just going to get by him for the start-finish line. No, Hatchell will lead another lap, but not really going to make a difference.
Get Baffert the lead, though.
Baffert
and this is gonna be the first. I think. Oh, Baffert did lead 1 lap before the pit cycle, but now Baffert, he has 20 laps. If he can just keep his tires under him, Baffert could be cruising home to his 2nd win of the season here at Homestead Miami. Behind them, Zwack and Hatchell will go side by side just for the straightaway, and Zwack now gets by Hatchell. Maiato, Seth Hatchell's teammate, will go by the 8 as well. Other than that, a lot of guys, it's very spread out throughout the field here. Behind them, Adam Cabot, who's in 5th, will slowly run down, I should say Adam Cabot and AJ Stravato, who will slowly run down Seth Hatchell. Stravato is on the same tires as Matthew Zwack.
Yeah, and Cabot on the tires.
No, he's on
lap older.
He's on a lap of his own, really.
Yeah.
And Ortega kind of interfering with the battle. He's got a lot fresher tires than both of these guys.
Yeah,
and Ortega will go by both of them.
Kind of the same strategy that Seth Hatchell's on, so we'll watch Ortega see where he's up. He's about 15 seconds behind the next car in line, Gally, who is next to make the final pit stop. So Yusuf going to fall off the lead lap. Does bring it in.
Parker and Hayes are going at it. Cruz behind them. Been kind of quiet on Cruz. Cruz is like we talked about him earlier in this race. great pace out of the 26 VSPEED Toyota Camry. He's had an amazing run today as he'll go for the 8th position or 9th position on his teammate Dylan Parker, and he'll set his eyes on Brody Hayes, and he should be able to run Bailey Turner down at the pace that he's going.
And he's also led 2 laps here tonight after starting 11th. Really a successful race for Dane. It should gain him probably a position or 2 in the standings. Got a hold to dig out of, but point you can get help and race Parker right here behind him, racing up with Eric Lambert, who is down fresh tires, 13-lap old tires, and Joshua Banks on 4-lap old tires right here.
And we talk about that battle that happened earlier. I think Ben Baffert, if he's able to win this race, he owes Matthew Zwack a Christmas card for holding up Keith Maiato that much. Other than the contact where we know there was a lap car in the way, you know, I'll tell you, Zwack was trying his hardest to hold off Maiato. And remember, they're not teammates. The top 3 are not teammates. Maiato is trying to win for keep his championship hopes alive with Baffert. Maiato's the points leader. He wants to win another race, like he said in the pre-race. And Matthew Zwack wants a win. He's been so close to it all year. He just hasn't got it. Again, the possibilities of a late race caution are more than possible. We still got 15 laps to go.
Battle for second could be on here pretty soon. It's Zwack just about 4 or 5 car lengths in front of Maiato. How hurt are the tires on the 36, though? We'll have to wait and find out. Adam Cabot in 4th. Nice solid race from that after kind of a rough outing at Atlanta as well. But here's his teammate, AJ Stravato. Will fight it out for 4th. And Seth Hatchell has not brought it in second time yet. He runs 6th. I guess he's trying to stretch it to the end or hope for a yellow flag, but not work out for him.
Hatchell's going to be dropping down the order a few more spots for sure. He might be able to get a top 10 out of this, but he's definitely going to lose some points to his teammate, Keith Maiato. He's going to lose some points to Ben Baffert. Baffert is, if he can win this race, he's going to be in this fight. And how about AJ Stravato in the top 5 having a great run as well? I mean, a lot of the points are going to tighten up here as we go into Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, Maiato, if he can get by Matthew Zwack, the only person he's losing points to is Ben Baffert, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Stretch it out over everybody else.
And it's possible that he could. He's right next to, now he's next to Zwack.
And I don't know if maybe Zwack will let him go here after all that happened into turn 1. I think that's exactly what he's going to do. They both went for a little bit of a slide there. It wasn't just both these drivers, but Ben Baffert didn't really go, he didn't really slide at all, I think, down there at the bottom.
Patient. That was great maturity that I've saw out of Baffert lately. We know he's been aggressive at times in this race, but knowing Ben's progress, even from the beginning of the season, I think even with that battle that we saw with Zwack and Zwack and Maiato, I think Baffert would have definitely, I think he would have tried to force the issue earlier than that. I know that he tried to force the issue early, but just seeing him wait to get there while they were racing, that's something I don't think I've seen out of Ben Baffert. And I saw it out of him that moment. I think that's definitely great maturity out of Baffert. I don't think he was expecting to turn Maiato, and I don't think Baffert knew that Ortega was up there. That was going to make that 4 wide.
It was going to be, I don't think he was going to be able to see there with 2 cars who was outside and kind of in the blind spot. But I don't really blame anybody for that.
Yeah, just a racing deal.
What I would say. Well, let's try out
Hayes and Cruz have gotten by Turner and Hatchell. Hatchell's fallen back down to 9th. So he's going to definitely be losing. He's going to probably lose a spot to Parker. Might lose a spot to Gardner. Other than that, I don't know if he'll lose another spot to anybody else.
Down there in the side of the race, that is somebody maybe went around out of turn 2, but
I know Baffert doesn't want a caution.
Yeah, side by side here, the 10 of Brody Hayes, the 26 of Dane Cruz, tight racing out of turn 4. This for the 6th.
With the pace that Cruz has, he might be able to go up there and challenge AJ Stravato. I don't know if he has enough laps. If he can make quick work of Hayes, he might be able to gain some time on Stravato and Cabot. He's about 3/10 of a lap faster.
Yeah, 3 or 4 tenths would get him there. I think he would be just getting past them. But how about a top 5 run potentially for Dane Cruz? That would be very impressive. Make his way around. Yusuf Ali still limping his way around out there. Not the race he wanted
Yeah.
I wonder if he's got damage or maybe he's trying to stretch it to really off pace right now. 37.5-second lap.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Ben Baffert, like I said, he's hoping for that there is no caution. He has a 2.5-second lead over Keith Maiato.
Yeah, going to be 9 laps to go for Ben Baffert. There goes Reggie Ortega, going to unlap himself. Running 13th.
Golly got into Bailey Turner, and there was almost a crash. As there goes Lambert by the 54, and now behind, here comes Parker to close up. Man, wow. That was almost a caution.
Yusuf is really struggling. He's got 50-lap-old tires, and he also doesn't.
Gliding around.
Yeah, I'm not sure he can make it on fuel. Not sure what he's going for right here. If he's trying to cause a cut. Oh! Almost turning himself there off the 25. Parker going to work to the outside. If these two had history together, I don't think. So.
Not anything this year that I know of, but as Parker will probably try to go by here, Golly will let him by. Oh man! Big shot! And Golly's going to get up into the outside wall!
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Wonder if the 54.
It's going to get a lot of damage to the 25.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on here.
Parker was too happy with that.
It looked like just a straight up brake check down into the corner. I'm not too sure if Yusuf is trying to draw the yellow here or something.
Gotcha, yeah. I don't think that's going to fly too well if that's the case. He's
really struggling.
Definitely wiggling the car around a lot more.
Seth Hatchell right here in 10th behind him. He's got Nick Gardner, who's going to try and get a nice top 10 finish out of this. So
he'll get by the 8. As Hatchell will try to get around the way of the 54, who is creeping around the corners as Gardner gets loose as well. Everybody got loose out the corner as Hatchell is trying to hold on. Bailey Turner has fallen back to 8th. I don't know if he'll lose a spot to Parker here. But other than that, I mean, what we're seeing the order here, it's looking pretty good here. Cruz might be the only one that can run down Stravato and Cabot. I just don't know if he has enough time.
Last time by about a 10th quicker than Cabot and about 2 tenths quicker than Otto.
Really more like 4/10 of a second of a lap to probably get up to him.
I mean, he's going to run out of laps, I think. But he can push it a little harder here. He does have.
His finish, nonetheless, it's going to be great for Dane Cruz and his championship fight.
Cody Hayes in 7th here behind him. Nice solid race, but not going to be able to gain any points on the championship. Not going to lose any. Nice solid day, limiting damage. Turner came into the race second.
He's going to fall back a little bit.
5 or 6. Maiato. Not too much, but Maiato padding that lead.
Yeah, he's doing a great job doing it, but remember, there are still going to be 6 races after this. And I'll tell you, Baffert here leading this race, he's going to get a decent, he's not going to get a ton, but he's going to gain enough points on Maiato that's going to, I think it's going to probably knock him under 20. But Baffert, man, how about Baffert, the drive? I don't think we really expected Ben to be as fast as he's been here today at Homestead. He's had the pace at the shorter tracks, I would say. But he's had the pace of the mile and a half in certain races. Charlotte, he did a great job and was able to run up there. So I'm interested to see, if he can keep this pace up for the rest of the chase. He's definitely going to be in the fight here. He's got, like I said, he just didn't have the greatest of runs at Atlanta, so that didn't help. I can tell you that. So I'll tell you, Yusuf Ghali is literally creeping around the racetrack.
He may be out of fuel. Or at that point in the race, he may be out.
He's 55 laps on the tank, so yeah, he's being limping home another 2 laps. He should be able to make it. I think he's.
Oh, here
he's trying to
staying on the racetrack.
Yeah, well, he's maybe trying to just limp it around here. Has 2 laps to go for Ben Baffert here. That 23 VSPEED Ford Mustang, a 3.5-second, actually about to be a 4-second lead over Keith Maiato. Baffert putting together a heck of a race, was able to run down Maiato. A great battle, made some contact, but he's gotten himself up to the lead.
And we've only had 1 caution here today, so it's been very early on in this first 20 laps, and then we've run green ever since then. 2 green flag pit stops, I believe. in a row. So that is really cool to see. 2 to go, coming back to the white flag for Ben Baffert. To take his 3 of the season. White flag is in the air, 3.7 seconds, barring any disastrous circumstances here. Going to be Ben Baffert.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, hats off to him. He was patient throughout the entire run, and even though he made some contact in a situation where it was about to be 4 wide with Keith Maiato, it was going to be a great battle if that didn't happen. But Baffert, a great race nonetheless, as he rounds his way through 3 and 4 for the final time here at Homestead. Ben Baffert will come off of turn 4. He'll get his 2nd win of the season here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Baffert will win the Martin Sports 195.
Nice job there. We've got a battle for the top 5. Dane Cruz not quite able to get to AJ Stravato, so Stravato hangs on 5. No other battles coming to the line, so Ben Baffert, Maiato.
Satchel's out of fuel. Satchel is out of fuel. He is creeping around the racetrack. He should be able to lose a spot. No, he was creeping around, barely got some fuel in it. Hatch was going to finish outside the top 10, and that's really going to hurt him in points.
It's not what he did lead some laps, so get the bonus point for that, but 7th place, not what he was expecting here tonight after nearly winning last season at this racetrack in Baffert. To burn it down here on the front stretch, Homestead Miami, the Martin Sports 195, the winner. Baffert, rest of the top 3. And here comes Maiato, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins an Auto Club.
All right, and back at the racetrack now for the Martin Sports 195. Going to be pulling in our third place finish here this evening. That is going to be Matthew's Whack. Matthews is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED. Got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, a little bit of pit strategy there to undercut those guys at the end. You put yourself in position, battling with them, and little contact. You guys were working past the lap car. Just describe, the long green flag run and approach there to try and win this.
Yeah, I think I was pretty clearly the third best car. And I knew I had to try and undercut. Well, the first time I thought I had a pretty good undercut planned, and they cut me off pretty well. And the second time I got lucky, they were battling, and so I went for it. I also missed my stall the first time coming in, which really hurt me. Second time I got the undercut off, and I was just, I ran a different line than everyone. I put it on the seam because I was just gonna make everyone go under me and try and hold on to the right rear. And I tried my best. When we caught Reggie or whatever, I didn't know where Reggie was gonna run, so I tried to get in front of Keith, and I didn't even know we were 3 wide, and we all just got together, and it is what it is. I feel bad doing that with 2 playoff guys, but I was just trying to get the most I could out of it.
Yeah, and I think I don't think anybody really knew that it was going to be 4 wide there at that moment. A Baffert down there at the bottom probably had no car up top, but made for an exciting moment, and you guys all lived to race to the end at least. We go to Richmond next week. Track completely different from here. How do you?
I don't mind Richmond. It's probably one of my better short tracks, so I think I'll be okay there. Should have a good time. I'm enjoying life without the chase. Not much pressure. Just go out there, have fun, try to win. So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you definitely almost played spoiler out here tonight. So 3rd place for you in the number 18. Shout out to.
I'd like to give a shout out to you guys in the booth. Abin's putting on. Ben and Keith had a great time racing them. Long run. When we get long runs here, it's always a blast. So, shout out to everyone involved.
Awesome, Matt. Well, congrats on a podium finish here tonight, and we'll see you at Richmond.
Thank you.
Congrats, Matt.
3rd place finisher Matthews Whack. Let's go to 2nd place now. That is going to be Maiato Alec, I believe.
I am. Keith Maiato, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker in the VSPEED booth. Got a copy?
I'm here.
Well, Keith, you come up 1 spot short, but I think it's still a great point to stay battling with Ben Baffert for most of the race and for the win. Take us through what you think you could have did different and through the race, battling with the 23 car all day.
I don't know, because I think maybe not having 2 slower cars in front of us with all that dirty air for like 25 some odd laps and racing side by side, I think that had a big effect on probably, because I think I had a gap at that time. I pulled away and Ben let me by, and then we just could not get past those 2 cars. To be honest, I don't know what else I could have done, because came out of the pits behind. Maybe if I came out of the pits a little bit quicker compared to Zwack, so I didn't get stuck behind him, because that stopped me right there, because I think I had a second on Ben after he came out of the pits. But it is what it is. It was a good race. Almost ended poorly, but it was a good race nonetheless.
Heck yeah, it was a great race between you guys. You guys put on a show for us and the viewers. And I want to shift our focus to next week. Next week is Richmond. It's a short track, our first of the chase, in which there are many in the chase. How do you feel about going out there, defending your point lead, and maybe trying to see if you can get another win here? But how do you feel about going out to Richmond?
As long as I don't get turned going into any corner, I should be okay. I don't know if I've run Richmond in this car. I heard from Chris that it's not the greatest feeling there. You don't get much feedback in the wheels, so it'll be interesting to see what you can put out there as a setup and hopefully make it feel somewhat decent.
For sure. Well, we're hoping we can get a good setup out there. But again, congratulations on your 2nd place finish. Before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Martin Sports Racing, sponsoring the race tonight. Yourself and Adam, awesome job doing the broadcast for VSPEED, and everyone at Below the Double Yellow.
Oh, we appreciate that, Keith. Again, congratulations on 2nd place. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week at Richmond.
Thank you, sir.
Great race, Keith.
Oh.
I'll talk to him later.
A little too quick.
Let's pull in the race winner here tonight, the Baff, back to victory lane. And Baffert, Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy.
We got a copy.
Man, very exciting race here tonight at Homestead. You get your second win of the season. Take down Keith Maiato, who is really the dominant car for a lot of this race. Old move into turn 1, and y'all survived it somehow. But just describe this race, long brief runs.
Well, the setup was not many people are going to hold this opinion, but I enjoyed driving the setup. It was pretty fun. To be fair, only like 2.5 lanes were usable, but I would always just park the bottom. But going into one there with Heath was just we were looking at 4 wide with Reggie and Zwack and all them, and that's a kind of a straight entry into the corner, and we all kind of wrecked together. So I'll take a good part of the blame for that. But incredibly fun racing Keith and Zwack. Probably one of the best battles I've ever had. Just saying that.
Yeah, it's one of the best battles we've ever watched. I think it was 15 or 20 laps. You guys were dead even side by side, sliding out of the corner, and really entertaining stuff. And you take the victory here tonight. We go to Richmond next week, very similar to Iowa, where you won earlier in this. How do you feel about going back down there?
It all depends on the setup. If we can wrap the bottom, I think I'll be good.
And we're looking forward to see if you can get race win number 3 out there. But after starting 12th, leading 22 laps, you take the win. Martin Sports 195. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Give a shout out to everybody on PPM, Alec Martinez included. That was very fun, and I'm honored to drive the setup.
Yeah, and your teammates had some good races. Dane Cruz back there in 6th, kind of a standout race for him this season, I believe. Fun to watch you guys put on a show for us. Congrats. Go celebrate with those.
Thank you.
All right, that is Ben Bafford, the Baff race winner again this season. What a show tonight. What a battle.
What a race. I don't know, like you said, I mean, even though the lack of not having the wall come in, I mean, even though, like Ben said, we had about 2.5 crews of racing, and it was great to watch these guys race side by side and put on a heck of a show. The battle between Keith Maiato and Ben Bafford was probably one of the best battles we've seen all year, and these boys never fall short of putting on a heck of a show. Bafford, so that I think we're 2 for 2 on chasers, winning back-to-back chase races. Like I said, next week we go to Richmond, a short track. We know there's going to be a little beating and banging. I'm not sure if it's going to be a day or a night race. That's going to be interesting to see. Probably be a better of a day race to move around a little bit. But looking forward to next week. I think it's going to be a heck of a show. Like I said, these boys failed to ever put on a bad show. So I can't wait to get out to Richmond, Virginia next week. It's going to be a heck of a race. And curious to see what the points look like after this week. And like I said, I think we're in for a show at Richmond. It's going to be fun. We're going to see a lot of moving around, hopefully, if it's a day race. And I'm looking forward to it. And, man, what a race we saw tonight. Again, the battles between everybody in the field was great. Homestead fails to never make a bad race. Again, great racing by these guys. And looking forward to Richmond. And it's going to be fun. Again, thank you to all the viewers who are watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was an awesome race. And congratulations again to Ben Bafford. Thank you to Martin Sports for sponsoring the race today. And to all the guys that run this BTDY and run the Below the Double Yellow Racing League, man, it's just so fun to do this. And again, thank you to Adam for having me up here. This is it's always an honor, and it's always a fun time.
Indeed, it is. And another fantastic race by these drivers. Couldn't do it without those guys as well. Let's go through the results here. Just one caution in 130 laps tonight. 8 lead changes. A lot of those just between Ben Bafford and Maiato as they put on a show for us all night long. And Matthew Zwack. I don't know if Matthew Zwack actually really led too many laps, though.
I think he led 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he never did.
Hatchell was still out there, I think. Well, they were all fighting for it. But, yeah, what a race tonight. Ben Bafford takes his second win of the season. He'll join a multitude of 2-time winners this season. Now Keith Maiato, one of those as well. He'll finish second, extending his points lead over everyone but the 20. Matthew Zwack comes home third. Adam Cabot finishes fourth. AJ Stravato comes home in the 5th spot. Dane Cruz finishes. Brody Hayes finishes 7th. Bailey Turner comes home in 8th. Dylan Parker finishes in the 9th position, and rounding out the top 10 tonight, that's going to be Gardner. Great race.
Ed Hatcher will finish 11th. Daniel Cunningham, great run for him, will finish 12th. Reggie Ortega, 13th. Joshua Banks, the disappointing run for the Chase guys, will go in 14th, but I think he'll rebound next week at Richmond. He'll go in 14th. Eric Lambert, 15th. Eddie Trejo, 16th. Pulse sitter Chris Samard, 17th. Yusuf Ghali, disappointing 18th. Dennis Faircloth, 19th. And Jeremiah Vincent, 20th.
And rounding out the field, did not take the green flag. That's going to be Willie Nelson. Hopefully, we get him back out here racing with these guys soon. Yeah, what a finish. What a race here tonight. Ben Bafford, his second win of the season, looking to make it 3 next week at Richmond. See who can get it done there. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll be back Thursday night with the BMW Car Club of America National Chapter Sim Racing League from Road Atlanta. Be a fun one there. And then next Monday and Tuesday with the Below the WL Contender and Premier Series from Richmond. So check in on those nights. Make sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week, and turn on those notifications here on YouTube to see when we go live with each and every broadcast. But until next time, have a great night.